this week's weekly current affairs. So it's the most important video which I found very useful for you for your UPSC exam. So in this we are going to discuss some of the issues which was plaguing. First one is what? India-Canada relations. So second one is fan market. Do you have an idea? Fans. Right. So next one, women's reservation bill. Next one, PM Vishwakarma, Nagorno Karabakh region, Shanti Niketan. So moonquakes, and one important thing is cats hunting downwards birds. So do you have an idea why I have picked this topic? Cats hunting down birds. Any idea? No idea. So these are unconventional things which UPSC will pick, which are very, very unconventional. We don't even expect such kind of questions will pick or not. So fine. Coming to today's class, do you have an idea like Indo-Canada relations? What? Tell me. Any idea like which you know? Canadian Sikh got murdered. So I'll give you brief introduction regarding what is the history, regarding like where you need to which point, from which point you need to start. So overall this India-Canada relations, prior to this we need to know, so the main demand which was going is regarding what? Khalistan, right? This is the main demand, right? So which the relation got strained. So if you see the last G20 summit also, when this Justin Trudeau, when he was leaving from India to Canada, he said that I felt a cold reception from the India. So it was not actually happened, right? So coming to this, some origin you need to know. So what is the reason of this? Khalistan means what? Demanding of what? Separate country for whom? Yeah, for Sikhs, right? So then you need to go back to history. First of all, there is some history, right? So who is the originator of this Sikhism? Guru Nanak, right? Do you have an idea who Guru Nanak is a contemporary of which king? Which Indian king? No. It is Babur, right? These are so why I am telling this, because they will go that much deep. UPSC will go that much deep when they are asking the prelims oriented questions. They may ask Sikhism oriented questions. They may ask connecting dots. These matters a lot in this UPSC prep. So you need to think in that dimensions also. So how the question will, how they will frame, because Guru Nanak is a contemporary of which Mughal king? They will give Babur, Akbar, all those things. Next, after this, who is the 10th Guru? Any idea? Yeah, not Guru Tej Bahadur. Guru Gobind Singh. So after him, what is the book name? Guru Granth Sahib, right? So no gurus. This is the only ultimate source of knowledge. This is the only thing you need to consider. After the 10th gurus, there won't be any gurus. Everything will be origin to this Guru Granth Sahib. For example, if you see some religions like Christianity, so after the Christ, which is going with this Bible, same thing. If you go to the Islam also, after the Prophet Muhammad, Quran continues, right? No God is no God, no nothing over here, but no gurus or nothing. So you need to continue based on this Guru Granth Sahib. So later it grew on. You know a famous king, right? Rana Pratap Singh, Maharana Pratap Singh. So after his death, until his death, It has a very good good hold over this Punjab and this Pakistan region. After his death, and second Anglo-Sikh war has happened. So at this time, British take over some of the territories. So here there is an origin of Sikh need some kind of kingdom or something has started. Why? Because Hindus has India. So there is a domination of Muslims. They need what? A separate country called Pakistan. British has its own domain. They are ruling in their domains. So three conflict of views was arised on the Sikhs nature. One is from where? So ultimately it's a communal angle, right? From the point of whom? Hindus, they felt they are minority. From the point of British, they felt they are a minority. From the point of Muslims, they felt they are minority. So this is the very origin for this Khalistan movement. So this grew on. Later, at the part of 1940s. So prior to this, there are some incidents has happened. Do you have an idea of this Ghadar movement? Ghadar party, any idea? It's a history concept. It's a history around 1913s. There is a party called, so he is not that one. He is a Frontier Gandhi. It is Ghadar party. It is an international. Okay, which was good hold in USA, Canada. So this party is led by whom? Sikhs. Okay, this party is led by whom? Sikhs, some other people also. So they are revolutionary in nature. So they want to support India's independence. So at this point of time, there was an incident has happened that is called Komagatu Maru incident. Any idea? It's a history concept again. Komagatu Maru incident. So this Komagatu Maru is a ship which consists of Sikhs, right? So they are trying to, they are going to plan from Hong Kong to India through an international sea route. At one point, they got stopped over where? Canada, right? This ship was not allowed into the Canada, and these people are not allowed into this Canada province. So here again, one of the bone of contention at this time of 1914s, 1915s, right? So they got hurt, everything at the time of 2016 or 17 recently. So the Prime Minister, the head of this Canada, has apologized these people. So it's the brief history is something regarding, so nothing much connected here, but you need to remember these type of questions may ask in the prelims. Regarding what? Komagatu Maru incident and Ghadar. So recently there is a movie Ghadar, you heard? Hindi movie. Ghadar. This is based on the theme only. So it is in the news, right? So everything got connected to that point. Did you watch the movie? Both of you watched. Fine. So there may be a chance of connecting that mode. So where I have stopped. So this Komagatu Maru. So next one, there is a movement called Alkali Moment. These are the Sikh movements. So this movement is to bring out or throw out corrupt Mahants, means heads of Gurudwaras. At the time of 1920s, there is a movement called Alkali Moment. This movement is to throw out the corrupt Mahants. Mahants are the heads of these Gurudwaras. Got it? So again, at this point of time, some got an idea to establish a kingdom called Sikh kingdom. So what are the origins of this Khalistan? So tell me, like, what are the points where you can see the origins of this Khalistan? One, like, if a overall comprehensive question. So what is the origin of this Khalistan? One is from Sikh, like Maharana Pratap. After the Maharana Pratap, so they was started. Second one is what? This international Ghadar party influence. Third one is what? This Alkali Moment. So next, another thing is, so at point of 1940s, there is a resolution called Lahore. Yeah. Motive of the Ghadar party is not regarding the Sikh kingdom. Motive of the Ghadar party is to support the Indian independence. So based on the Sikhs, right? Everything is got with the Sikhs, right? So they got humiliated. So two parts. For example, if you see the Khalistan dominated, Khalistan is there, right? So if you see the Khalistan, one party they want Khalistan, another Sikhs want what? To support the India. So again, there is a divergence has created at that time. So two views has arisen. That's what I am going to say is two views has arisen at that time. So where I have stopped? Lahore resolution. Any idea? So again, at the point of 1940s, Lahore resolution was passed by this Muslim League. Any idea? Muslim League? Do you have? It is a Muslim League. It is there in the history. It was who is that personality? Jinnah is the head of this. Okay, 1940s. So he has demanded what? Separate country for Muslims. That is called what? Pakistan. At the same time, these Sikhs also demanded separate country for them. So it got subsumed, like it got the heat of this intense heat got down. So again, at the point of 1947, after independence, right? Again, it got resurfaced, right? Due to the the concessions which was given to this Punjab state, everything got wiped away. Again, this Khalistan movement was started in the 1970s, right? So 1970s, there is a person named Bindrewala. Yeah, Jarnail Singh Bindrewala. He is the one of the leading personality who has very good motto of to bringing this Khalistan into the main picture. So this personality demanding this Khalistan, there is a trend of Khalistan got started here and international also. So especially this Canada, right? At the time, these who are demanding this Khalistan, right? They got into this Golden Temple, right? You have an idea? Next, Operation Blue Star. The next sequence of event is what? Operation Blue Star. So this Gurudwara, it was done during the time of Indira Gandhi. So to pick out this personality and the supporters of this Khalistan movement, right? He got died at that time. Next, after this Blue Star only, Indira Gandhi got died, assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards, right? So this grew on. Later, at the time of 1985, there is again hijack of Airbus. It's a flight. 325 or 326 people got killed. So this is a brief history regarding this thing. So this Khalistan movement is up and down is there. So in the 2020, I think so, 2020 or 2021, there is a person called Amritpal. Who is that name? Amritpal Singh. So he got murdered. So he is a Khalistani supporter. So this grew anger in where? Canada. So why are you wondering or something, because why this Canada is more interested toward about this Sikh region? Because if you see, if they want to win a victory in the Canada, this Trudeau government needs a support of this Sikh majority population. This is the main theme. If he want to be in that position, he needs the support of this Khalistan pro workers, right? So recently there is a death of this Nizar, a name called Nizar. He got died. So he is a pro Khalistani person. So at this time, this junction, this what you can say, this conflict got started. Again, this India-Canada relations got strained away. So next, rest is happening at present, which we are seeing is, right. This is the basic brief history regarding these things. So this is a Khalistan related issue, but in this topics we are also going to discuss what are the exact relations in the dimension of people to people, country to country, trade relations. These are everything in the upcoming of this discussion. So this is a news article. India issues tit for tat for travel advisory for the Canada. Serious allegation says Australia on Trudeau's remark on killing of Nizar. Right. So coming to here, this is some history which I have already talked. So I have already talked, right. Unified Sikh Empire was Maharaja Rana Sandat Singh. At the end of Second Anglo War in 1940, the Sikh Empire was dissolved into separate princely states and the British province of Punjab. Sikhs made their first call to a Sikh homeland. Next one, Ghadar Party, we have already talked about this. Next one, Alkali Moment. When the Lahore resolution of the Muslim League demanded Punjab be made into a Muslim state, the Alkalis viewed it as an attempt to usurp a historically Sikh territory. Obviously, the angle is what? Communal angle, right? Ultimately, this lies in the area of communalism. It is not that much linked to it, but exactly it got hurt of the sentiments of the Sikhs. So due to this, two dimensions has created. One is supported to this pro-Khalistan, another one is non-pro-Khalistan. So nothing that much linked to it. But why I have picked that incident? Because there may be a chance of asking in the prelims. Out of the box, they will pick such kind of things. So it wants an independent state. This is the Khalistan, proposed Khalistan flag, carved out of Indian, dates back to India, Pakistan since 1947. Sikh separatists demand that their homeland Khalistan, meaning the land of the pure, be created out of the Punjab. Khalistan movement is considered a what? Security threat by the Indian government around 1970s. Anandpur, this is a very important resolution. What is this resolution? Anandpur Sahib resolution in 1973 to demand a radical devolution of power and further autonomy to where? To whom? To Punjab. The resolution document included both religious and political issues, asking the recognition of Sikhism as a religion. I will connect this dot with Indian constitution also in the later part of our discussion. Sikhism as a religion separate from Hinduism, as well as transfer of Chandigarh and certain other areas to which? Punjab. It also demanded that power be radically devolved into central to state government. So these are the demands of this which resolution? Anandpur Sahib resolution. It is for what? For a separate Sikh state or Sikh dominated region. So led to Operation Blue Star, you heard, right? Saint Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and his supporters got died. Indira Gandhi assassination happened in 1945. This bombing has recent cops arrested the Sikh leader who revived the calls for Khalistan and steered. Who is that person? Amritpal Singh. Next one, Canadian recent one. This you people know. Right. So the issue, one important issue which harms their sentiments is, do you know this article 25 of our Indian Constitution? Which article? Article 25. Did any one of you can establish a link between this? Do you have an idea regarding this article? Do you know this article? Any idea? Article 25, 26. Article 25 is for what? Freedom of conscience, free profession, practice and propagation of religion, right? So this is the Article 25. So there is a subclause B. Here you need to notice why there is an communal angle got developed to them. Providing for social security, social welfare and reform, or throwing open of Hindu religious institutions of a public character to all classes and sections of Hindus. Explanation: the wearing and carrying of kirpan shall be deemed to be included in the profession of the Sikh religion. Explanation: in the subclause B of subclause reference to, from here it is very, very important, just look here. Clause reference to what? Hindus shall be construed as including a reference to persons, professions, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist. So that's it. So overall this clause is saying what? Sikhs also belong to which religion? Got it? So it's where the reference is where? Article 25. It is a fundamental right in our constitution. So obviously they are clubbing these Sikhs into the Hindus. Will you accept, like their internal feeling is why we need to accept? Even though the origin of this what you can say Sikhs has started from this Bhakti movement. So Bhakti movement, the trend has happened. So some of the things relating to the Hinduism are there in the Guru Granth Sahib. Even though it's there, but it is completely different. Their policies, each and everything are different. So how can you club we Sikhs into this Hindu domain? It's their point of question. And this is also one of the reason for what? This Khalistan movement. Got it? So how this political, how this constitution also has given a chance to rise of this Khalistan issue. So next one, areas of engagement. This is another chapter. So till now we have covered what is the issue regarding it. So now we are going to deal with the what are the opportunities between the both countries. So first one, trade and investment between this Indo and Canada. Bilateral trade between India and Canada has grown significantly in the recent years, reaching nearly how much? $8 billion. Right? Major items of Indian exports are what? Medicines, garments, diamonds, chemicals, gems and jewelry. So in these diamonds, so there is a recent trend of what? Which diamonds? LG diamonds. So those are called lab grown diamonds. Any idea? Heard? Just go home and Google down. So recently there is a trend of starting this lab grown diamonds. So you can connect this with India's diamond industry, right? So we are developing this Atmanirbhar Bharat, each and everything, right? So India is pro to this lab grown diamonds. So recently our PM also gifted this lab grown diamond to some of the head. I don't remember the head, who is that personality, but lab grown diamonds are very important for your prelims exam. Got it? So next one, major items of export. So the question also can be framed in the prelims. So what are the imports, major imports from Canada, major imports from India to Canada? Ala kuda question adige chance untadi. So that's the reason why export are pulses, fertilizers, newsprint, aircraft and aviation equipments. So Canadian, what are these? Pension funds has invested around, so this much into the 2020. Pension funds are the other major investment firms have pledged portfolio investments. So something. So nothing much here. Canadian pension funds means sovereign funds are invested into the Indian market. So two things. One is trade, that is of exports and imports. Second one is what? Investments of what? Canadian pension funds. So next one is what? Indian diaspora. Who are the diaspora? Any idea what is the meaning of diaspora? Indian people who staying abroad. Indian origin people who is staying abroad are called as this diaspora. Got it? So Canada is very, very important point. Canada is home to the world's largest Sikh population. What? World's largest Sikh population outside India, who nearly how much? 7,70,000 people, or 2.1% of the country's population. Very, very important. This is the another important point you need to notice. In the field of politics in particulars, the present House of Commons total strength of 338 has 22 members of what? So these are mostly of the Sikhs. So that is the reason why he needs a support of them. So that's why he is pro to this Khalistani movement, this Justin Trudeau. If you are noting this, I'll share this PDF. No issues if you want. Who are supporting? Yeah, that's what they are saying. They are supporting this Khalistan movement. The issue is going on based this Khalistan issue only. The Nizar, who was the person of this Canadian, he's an Indian Canadian person. So he got died recently. So he is a pro Khalistani movement. So if they need a support, if they want to win, who? This Justin Trudeau government, they need a support of these Khalistani people who are majority over there. Got it? So next one, technology. In the field of technology, energy dialogue was expanded to additionally include the electricity, energy efficiency, and renewables. Indian Oil Corporation has 10% participating interest in the liquid LNG project. So next one, Department of Atomic Energy and MS Chemical. Nothing much here. Just go through, see here. ISRO and Canadian agency have signed 2 MOUs in the field of exploration and the utilization of outer space in October 1990 and March 2003. Do you know Antrix, the commercial arm of ISRO, has launched several nano satellites from Canada. So students, India became the top source of foreign students studying in the Canada. The figure rose how much? 47% last year to nearly this many people, 40% of the total overseas students, according to the Canadian Bureau of International Education. In the field of nuclear, Department of Atomic Energy and this signed an agreement of supply of what? Uranium ore concentrate to India 2015. So earlier during the time of 1970s, India first tried its nuclear test. If you have an idea, like at the time of 1970s, India has tested its nuclear. At this time, Canada has opposed to it. Okay. At present, we have a support to it. That you need to know. So, what are the future pipelines? So next, what we need to do is under the negotiation or foreign investment promotion agreement. It is under the consideration. Next one is what? Comprehensive economic partnership agreement and audio visual co-production treaty. These are in discussion, a future discussion. They are going to establish the relation between under this foreign investment promotion and this SEPA. So Canada could be an alternative energy source for India. So in the news, this is trend. There is a trend of track 1, track 1.5, track 2. ఎప్పుడైనా పేపర్లో చూసారా ఈ వర్డ్స్ ఎప్పుడైనా? Anyone of you have watched the words track 1, track 1.5, track 2. So this is the mode of diplomacy between a country to country, right? Track 1 diplomacy means direct government to government contact. What? Direct government to government track 1 diplomacy. The word is what? Track 1 diplomacy will extend for direct government to government. For example, head of India is whom? Modi and this Justin Trudeau. Say their face-to-face contact. They have a contact with them. It comes under what? Track 1 diplomacy. So coming to this track 1.5 diplomacy, this diplomacy is, for example, ministers. Two ministers, like a ministerial summit. You heard, right? Generally, there is a ministerial summit will happen between country to country. right? That is called track 1.5 diplomacy. Track 2 diplomacy is something an organization is there in India. For example, private organization there in India. UAE has something, Aramco is as an organization, it is going to contact with India or Indian organizations. PSUs, for example, Indian Oil Corporation having contact with whom? UAE's Aramco, or else some Reliance is with some X of this other countries. So this comes under diplomacy of what? Track 2 diplomacy. These are very, very important. So prelims lo ila question track 1 దేనికి సంబంధం track 1.5 track 2 ఏం డిప్లొమసీ ఏంటి అనేది. సో ఇవన్నీ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ రిలేషన్స్లో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్స్. So very important thing which I'm expecting a question in the future like 2024 mains or prelims in this dimension. Comparison of what? Indian and Canadian constitution. So what are the similarities? What are the differences? We just look over here. What are the similarities? That includes both constitutions are based on what? Democratic values and principles, and both guarantee certain rights and freedom of to their citizens. So what are the differences? Here more we need to focus more on here. So Indian constitution recognizes India as what? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. So where we can see this, it is we can look on in preamble, right? So while Canadian constitution does not mention socialism and what? Secularism. One point. Second one is what? Canadian constitution protects freedom of expression. The Indian constitution specifically protects what? Freedom of religion. Here comes another issue of this Khalistan movement. They accept whatever the expression may be, but Indians, so it's the freedom of religion. While the Canadian constitution is what? Our Indian constitution what? Unitary. You know this? Our Indian constitution is unitary. For example, union is the head which controls each and everything. So our federalism is also called as quasi federalism or bargaining federalism. Got it? It's not, for example, union. If you see the India is the bar, that is union of states. It's an indestructible union. So everything should come from the union itself. If you want to establish a state, if you want to carve out a state, who has that responsibility? Union has that responsibility. So individual ga oka state అనేది డివైడ్ అవడానికి ఛాన్స్ లేదు in India. But it can do in where? Canada. It's a federal country then. That's the reason. So very important thing from the point of view prelims is this one. What are the features which we have borrowed from Canada in our Indian constitution? Centrifugal form of federalism where the center is strong than states. Next one, residuary powers vest with whom? Do you have an idea this residuary powers? No idea. Generally there is a list called central list, state list. Center have some hold and states have some hold. There is some concurrent list, and another there is a list called residuary list. For example, if you can say not gambling, this what you can say, cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency, it was not mentioned in any of the list. It's a recent emerging trend, right? It was not there in any of the list. So it comes under residuary list. Obviously it can be dealt by whom? Center itself. It's a new arriving things, right? So the same thing we have taken from this Canadian government. Next one, center appoints the governorate states. Who appoints? So this was mentioned in which? Where? Canada. Advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. So this advisory jurisdiction to whom? President of India. So what are the provisions which we have taken from the Canada? First one is what? So center is strong than states. Second one is what? Residuary powers rest with whom? Center. Third one is what? Center appoints whom? Governor. Third one is what? Advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. These are the very important. So this is a mains practice question. I have framed 2 questions. Just practice at the home. Try it. So very important. Internationalization of India's internal issue. Internalization of what? India's internal issue, that is demand for Khalistan, has gained popularity in recent times. Got it? In this backdrop, how it may change the dynamics of Indo-Canadian relations. So how can you write this answer? So how it can change the dynamics? దీనికి మీరు ఆన్సర్ ఏం రాస్తారు? See, exactly, I have talked about these areas of engagement, right? You can pick each and everything. For example, due to this, take one dimension, that is called students. So you need to take all the dimensions, but I am taking example of the students. So recently, if you see this, if you see yesterday's or today's news, there is an what you can say, ban on these visas. Present trend, if you see this, ban on what? Visas. So you need to give example like this. Students, again visas. Trade, it may reduce the trade. Diaspora, it may create tensions in the Indian diaspora in the Canada. Got it what I am saying? ఈ ట్రేడ్ డైనమిక్స్ వీటి వల్ల ఈ డైనమిక్స్ ఎక్కడ మారితే ఏరియాస్ ఆఫ్ ఎంగేజ్మెంట్ చెప్పానా, దానిలో నుంచి ఒక్కొక్క పాయింట్కి దీనిలో చేంజ్ ఉంటుంది, దీనిలో చేంజ్ ఉంటుంది అని మనం చెప్పుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. సో అల్టిమేట్లీ వాట్ కుడ్ బి ద కన్క్లూజన్? కన్క్లూజన్ ఏం రాయొచ్చు అంటారు దీనిలో? సో టెల్ మీ, లైక్ వాట్ యువర్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ. అంటే ఇట్ విల్ వర్సన్ ద రిలేషన్సా లేకపోతే వర్సన్ చేయదా? అర్థమైంది నేను చెప్తుంది ఏంట్రా? వాట్ ఇట్ అల్టిమేట్లీ డస్? దీనివల్ల రిలేషన్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతున్నాయి. వాట్ కుడ్ బి ద కన్క్లూజన్ యూ కెన్ గివ్? ఏం కన్క్లూజన్ ఇవ్వచ్చు?
But for them it is beneficial because they have majority of Sikhs there.
Got it. So ultimately what you can say is, it is a matter of time. The conclusion should be that it's a matter of time. For example, the government which is there, it is supportive to the pro-Khalistani, which because politics involved over there. If that government got changed to other, this Khalistan will get subsumed. So it is a short term. It is not a long term. What you need to write in the conclusion is, it is a short term thing. It is not of long term. Got it? ఇలాగా ఎప్పుడైనా ఉండాలి. ఎందుకంటే రిలేషన్స్ వెన్ యూఆర్ ఎస్టాబ్లిషింగ్ బిట్వీన్ ద 2 countries, you know these points are very important for your writing any IR answer something. The answer or conclusion should be in something in a balanced or diplomatic way. It should be a prospective గానే ఉండాలి ఎప్పుడైనా సరే. ఎప్పుడైనా కంట్రీ రిలేషన్స్ తగాదాలు పెట్టుకుందాం మన కాంటెక్స్ట్, we don't have that context. We India don't have that context to build an war, to start a war with other country. We are a peace loving country. Obviously we need to support this. It's a short term, it's not a long term. The conclusion should be in this dimension. Got it? Fine. So one question. So second question is what? Discuss briefly on comparison of Constitution of India and Canada. What are the features of Canada which are adopted in framing of our Indian Constitution? Are you able to write this one? Huh? This is the previous, like obviously which are there in the news you need to learn, because at least we have adopted nearly from 10 to 12 countries we have adopted some, we have borrowed some of the provisions. Every year, if you see the last year, if you see this year also, there is a comparison between India and British Constitution. If you see this year GS2 question, I didn't mention that question. There is a comparison between between India and British Constitution. The provisions related to it. This is there in the news. So there may be chance of asking this in the news in 2024 mains. అంటే న్యూస్ని ఫాలో అవుతూ ఉంటే యుల్ అజ్యూమ్ హౌ కెన్ ద క్వశ్చన్ కెన్ బి ఫ్రేమ్డ్. ఈ ఇయర్ అడగడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటంటే రిషి సునాక్ హ్యాస్ బికమ్ ద పిఎం. Do you know Rishi Sunak?
Yes.
So that may be a point of, there may be comparison between two those constitutions. So again this may arise, we don't know. Got it? So next prelims practice question is, what are the features borrowed from Canada in Indian constitution? Residuary powers vest with the center. Okay. Center appoints the governor at the states. Advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Judicial review. Did you see over there? So judicial review, we have adopted this from USA, right? So what is the answer here? 3 options. సో ఇలానే క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతాడు. ఏం చేస్తారంటే పక్క కంట్రీ ఏదో ఒకటి తీసుకొని వచ్చి జస్ట్ దీనిలో ప్లేస్ చేస్తారు అంతే. సో యూ నీడ్ టు అవేర్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక 4 to 5 బాగా స్ట్రాంగ్గా, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూఎస్ఏ నుంచి ఏం తీసుకొచ్చాం ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా, యూకే నుంచి ఏం తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నాం. సో నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ వన్? కెనడా నుంచి ఏం తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నాం, సౌత్ ఆఫ్రికా నుంచి ఏం తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నాం, ఆస్ట్రేలియా నుంచి ఏం తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నాం. దిస్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. వెన్ యూ ఆర్ గోన్ త్రూ దిస్ పాలిటీ యూ విల్ కమ్ టు నో. ఇట్స్ ఎ మిక్స్ ఆఫ్ విచ్ క్వశ్చన్? Not about this topic, the topic which I have discussed, right? It's a mix of which topic? It covers what? It covers an angle of communalism, right? Next one IR, next one internal security, next one polity, next one economy, right? These dimensions are, there may be a possibility of asking from in these dimensions. Inni dimensions lo questions adige chances untai from the point of mains. I have covered as much as possible from my side, but in the future if these topics again arises, we will again discuss regarding the extra topics regarding this Indo-Canada thing. But so again the next topic is very important, which I found. These are unconventional topic. This is the one of the unconventional topic. A light bulb moment for the Indian fan market. Any idea what it talks? Just ఇలా చూసినప్పుడు మీకు ఏం అర్థమైంది? ఫ్యాన్ ఓన్లీ, కరెక్టే, ఫ్యాన్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంది. నిజంగా ఫ్యాన్ గురించి, నాట్ దిస్ ఫ్యాన్ ఆర్ ఏసీ, దాన్ని ఏమంటారు షారుఖ్ ఖాన్ ఫ్యాన్స్ అలా కాదని అంటుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ద ఫ్యాన్ ఓన్లీ. సో a light bulb. So this ultimately talking about, we have a success in this transformation to this LEDs. So again we are now focusing on one important thing which is common in each and every household is what? Fan. So if you see the fan, some fans in some houses they are still 20 years or 10 years old. If you see, we don't change fans much, right? We generally repair it or something, we Indian people. So what they are demanding is, there is a change, we need a change. So we have done this LEDs. ఈ LEDs మార్చడం వల్ల we have saved lot of energy. So it became what? Energy efficiency, right? Again we need a same thing which was done in the light, we also need to do in what? Fans perspective also. So దీనికి ఏంటంటే ఈ ఆర్టికల్ టాక్ ఏం మాట్లాడిందంటే, వాట్ లైక్ హౌ యూ నీడ్ టు డూ, వాట్ టు డూ టు చేంజ్, అంత డ్రాస్టిక్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి అక్కడ మారడానికి చేయాలంటే వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఎలిమెంట్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు డూ. సో ఇన్ దిస్ డూయింగ్ there are 2 agencies you need to remember. One is called Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So another organization is what? EESL. We'll talk about these 2 organizations. So I am going to give homework regarding this EESL. Just prepare note for this EESL. I have given some brief intro regarding this. So prior to this I will talk about this BE also, Bureau of Energy Efficiency. What is the role in doing this, creating this energy efficiency? So this what was mentioned in this article is how to do, how to change from normal fans to this energy efficient fans. There is a fans based on the induction motor. Now this induction motor, so due to the recent technology advancement, there is a recent motors called BLDC motors. These motors are called brushless motors. Earlier motors there is a brush or there, so these are technical terms, there is no need for your prelims or mains or something. Just remember BLDC motors. Changing from induction motors to this BLDC motors. So how it distinguishes here is EESL to distribute how much? 10 million energy efficient fans across India, while the traditional fans consume 70 to 80 watts while delivering airflow of this much. The energy efficient BLDC fans consume only how much? So nearly there is a decrease of ఎంత సేవ్ చేస్తున్నారు ఎనర్జీ? నియర్లీ 50% డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది కదా. సో వాట్స్ ఈ ఎయిర్ డెలివరీతో మనకంత పెద్ద సంబంధం లేదు, బట్ దెర్ ఈజ్ అ డిక్రీజ్ ఇన్ ఎనర్జీ ఎఫిషియన్సీ. సో అగైన్ ఇక్కడ ఇష్యూ ఏంటి మెయిన్? ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు చేంజ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ టు దిస్, obviously this new technology fan will cost more, right? So that is the one issue you need to remember, cost issue. ఈ కాస్ట్ ఇష్యూని ఎలా రెడ్యూస్ చేయాలనే దానికి దే హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ ఎల్ఈడీస్, విచ్ వాస్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ స్కీమ్ కాల్డ్ ఉజాలా. Earlier there is a scheme called, what is the scheme name? So Ujala means Unnati Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. Right? So what they are going to do is same scheme like this one, they are going to implement this scheme for the fans also. So that scheme is what? For example, this is a government agency, it going to distribute this what? 10 million energy efficient fans. So it was creating demand in the market to change the mindset of the people. This is the first step they are going to take. So the next step what they are going to take is technology agnostic policy, demand aggregation, which was talked here. So earlier, if you see in this Ujala, there is a huge demand of this 9 watt LED bulb. But recently there is a trend of 15 watts. When this Ujala scheme got started, there is an exclusive demand of which watt? 9 watt LED bulb. But in the mode of the fan, it is not possible. So everybody has their different compositions, like if they need some kind of speed. So based on that, what this article is telling, you need a multi-technology, different technologies, not in a single straight same thing like 9 watt LED. You need to take some different innovations in this field to create more expansion to this one. So second what they have talked is balance between what? Price reduction and quality. If you see you people also get something LED bulb for 20 rupees, 30 rupees also, but they will go in one day or 1 week, we don't know, we don't have guarantee. సో అలాగా అబ్రప్ట్గా పాలసీ క్రియేట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఇలాంటి చీప్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ మార్కెట్లోకి వచ్చాయి. యూ నీడ్ టు చెక్ దట్ అనే దానికి దే హ్యావ్ గివెన్ దిస్ డిస్కషన్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ వాట్? హై క్వాలిటీ డొమెస్టిక్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్. సో ఇదేంటి అంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ సీ దిస్ బిఎల్డిసి మోటార్, ఇట్స్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఆర్ మోస్ట్లీ imported. To manufacture this BLDC motor, its components are mostly imported. What this article is saying is, you create this what you can say raw materials which are supportive to this BLDC motors. You need to make them in India itself. ఇక్కడ ఇండియాలో చేస్తే you can reduce that import demand, and again you can create what an opportunity of exports to other countries. For example, neighboring countries ఉన్నాయి, they are unable to do it, right? Energy efficiency వాళ్ళకు కూడా కావాలి. They are also in this mode of this Paris climate, all those things. Energy reduction చేసుకోవాలి, గ్లోబల్ వార్మింగ్ తగ్గించుకోవాలనుకుంటారు. So you can create opportunity for exports. So next one, dedicated resources to strengthening the standard and labeling program. There is a program called what? Standard and labeling program. So if you see this ACs, each and everything, you can see the 5-star, 4-star rating. You heard, right? You have seen anywhere fridge also. You have seen that. You can see any of the ACs. By the side of the ACs, you can see that star labeling. So there is an agency, that agency, like which agency will decides all those things is what? Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Under the ministry of which ministry? Power, created in March 2002 under the provisions of Energy Conservation Act. Very, very important. So Bureau of Energy Efficiency is which body? Statutory body. Which body? Statutory body means it came from an act. The bodies which came from the act are called as what? Statutory bodies. Got it? So the agency's function is to develop program which will increase the conservation and efficient use of energy in India. The mission of the Bureau of Energy Agency institutionalize the energy efficiency services. Nothing much here. The main motto or aim of this Bureau of Energy Efficiency is what? To give energy efficiency. That's it. Nothing much here. So there is a program called what? Standards and Labeling Program. The Ministry of Power has launched the Standards and Labeling Program scheme under this act. The Bureau of Energy, nothing much here. Same thing which you have seen, right? So this is a program. In this program, there is a next program called what? Star ratings. Which one? Star. You know 5 star, 4 star, 3 star. So which is good? 4 star or 1 star? 5 star is good. So it is energy efficient. Obviously it is a 5 star, it is a costly product, right? So what this article is demanding, 5 star unna sare, you need to reduce that cost burden on the people, or else try to give subsidy to them, something elements, what this article is talking here. So if you see the star label description, more stars, more savings, label period, technical details, so nothing much here. But you need to see one important thing, I will tell you. Products notified under what? The word is what? Not voluntary, it's what? Mandatory. Question ala frame chestarante star ratings unna vaatilo which of the following are mandatory appliances under this star rating program of Bureau of Energy Efficiency? First one is what? Water heater, color television, room air conditioner, both variable and fixed, room air conditioner, cassette ACs, floor standing tower, ceiling corner, so what are ACs, tabular TFL lamp, next one LED lamps, distribution transformer, direct cooling refrigerators, ceiling fans, refrigerators. So ceiling fans are mandatory na kada? That's what we need to look after here. Ceiling fan is mandatory for this star label ratings. So ఇప్పుడు నుంచి చేయాలి ఇంకా new manufacturing ani they need to. So earlier it is voluntary, now it has become. So did you see over here any microwave oven? దీనిలో మెన్షన్ చేసిందా? లేదు కదా. సో అలాగ వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడంటే దే విల్ పుట్ మైక్రోవేవ్ ఓవెన్ ఇన్ ద ఆప్షన్స్, దే విల్ పుట్ మైక్రోవేవ్ ఓవెన్. యూ జనరలీ థింక్ ఇట్ మే విల్ బి దేర్. సో యూ నీడ్ టు గెట్ అప్డేటెడ్ విత్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. దట్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు సే ఇస్. So there is another which I have told you, right? EESL. One is Bureau of Energy Efficiency. This EESL is promoted by Ministry of Power, Government of India. It is what? It is not an statutory body. It is what? Joint venture. It is not something related to parliamentary act or something. ఒక 4 కంపెనీలు కలిసి ఒక బాడీని తయారు చేసుకున్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే ఈ ఎనర్జీ ఎఫిషియన్సీని డీల్ చేయడానికి. ఆ 4 బాడీస్ ఏంటి అంటే NTPC Limited, Power Finance Corporation, next one REC, Rural Electrification, next one Power Grid. ఈ 4 కలిపి చేసింది ఏంటి అంటే EESL. సో EESL focus on solution driven innovation without taking support of any subsidy from the government. Very very important point. ఈ పాయింట్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. క్వశ్చన్ ఇలానే ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తాడు. EESL focus on solution driven innovation with taking support of subsidy from the government. With or without? Without. These words are very important. Without. So these are the schemes, like these are the programs which was done by this EESL. Just go home and just see each and everything. Very very important. Ajay, Atal Jyoti Yojana. This one, RAISE, Ujala, EV, infrastructure, super efficient program. So this is street lighting national program. Very very important. Next, another program also there is that. Smart meters also there. There is a program called smart meters. యూ హ్యావ్ సీన్ ద మీటర్స్ రైట్, హోమ్ మీటర్స్, మన కరెంట్ మీటర్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, దాని మీద కూడా ఇప్పుడు మీరు వెళ్ళి చూసింటే EESL అని రాసి ఉంటుంది, ఒక చిన్న స్టాంప్ వేసి ఉంటుంది చూడండి. జస్ట్ గో హోమ్ అండ్ వాచ్. సో విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ ద ఫిలిమ్స్ క్వశ్చన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్, విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ initiatives of Bureau of Energy Efficiency? First one is what? PAT, perform, achieve, trade. This is the very very important initiative of this BEE. అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, do you have an idea what it means, perform, achieve, trade అనేది? It's a kind of carbon market. For example, ఒక కంపెనీ ఉందనుకో, ఒక ఇండస్ట్రీ ఉందనుకో, దీనికి ఒక లిమిట్ ఇచ్చారు, నువ్వు 100 watts వరకే వాడుకోవచ్చు, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నా. బట్ ఇది 80 wattsలోనే దాని ప్రాసెస్ అంతా అయిపోయింది, రిమైనింగ్ 20 watts ఉన్నాయి. ఇట్ హ్యాస్ రిమైనింగ్ 20 watts విత్ ఇట్, రైట్? ఇట్ కెన్ సెల్ దిస్ టు అనదర్ కంపెనీ ఎక్స్ విచ్ ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ ఆఫ్ 120 watts. ఇట్స్ అగైన్ ఇట్స్ లిమిట్ ఈజ్ వాట్, 100 watts అయితే దీనికి ఎక్స్ట్రా 20 watts అయినాయి కదా, ఈ 20 watts ఇట్ కెన్ టేక్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్. గాట్ ఇట్? దిస్ ఈజ్ మోస్ట్లీ కార్బన్ మార్కెట్లో ఈ పర్ఫార్మ్, అచీవ్, ట్రేడ్, ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ అంతా దీని మీద లింక్ అయి ఉంటుంది. నీకు తక్కువ అయితే పక్కన దగ్గర తీసుకో, దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఉన్నత్ జ్యోతి బై అఫోర్డబుల్ LED, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఉజాలా. ఉజాలా ఈజ్ EESL ద BEE ద? ఉజాలా whom? EESL. So first one, it is correct. Ujala is wrong. Star label program. Star label program. Correct hai na? EESL or BEE na? Fine. Super efficient AC program. Super efficient AC program. Of whom? So it is wrong, right? So what are the options? 1, 3 are the true. So Lok Sabha passes. Next important thing is what? Lok Sabha passes Historic Women's Reservation Bill. So why there is a need of this? Okay, apart from this election strategy, it's a very long demand. From the 1970s, 80s nunche there is a demand of this for a women's reservation undali ane daniki. So you know, right, what is the, how many, like what is the percentage of women in there in India, normal percentage comparing with the male? How many male are there, how many female are there, percentage? మేల్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నారా, ఫీమేల్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నారా? ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు? I need a percentage. So women's percentage is something around 47%, nearly 47%. So you 47% unnaru. So that is the reason why if you see the women's participation in this parliament is just how much? 15%. So rest are whom? Men. So this is one of the reason. So they are demanding that ikkada takku unnaru. So that first of all you need to know the need. When you are deriving a policy, when you become future bureaucrats also, based on the need only you will derive a policy. అక్కడ నీడ్ ఉంటేనే మీరు పాలసీ, అల్టిమేట్గా పాలసీ చేయరు కదా ఒక రోజులో. దే షుడ్ బి నీడ్, రైట్? అల్టిమేట్ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డిరైవ్ సంథింగ్ పాలసీ. సో 15% ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి you need to expand it. So if you expand it, 33% means how much? 1/3 is 33% itself, right? So what is the strength of this Lok Sabha? 545. Got it? So this bill is called what? Nari Shakti Vandan Adhinayam. very important. Hindi names is trend start అయింది. You need to remember at any cost. Nari Shakti Vandan Abhinayam. So how many seats are there? 545 seats in Lok Sabha. 84 by 545 are what? Scheduled caste seats. 47 are whom? Scheduled tribes. 412 are unreserved. Right? So what they are going to do is, they are going to divide 1/3 here, 1/3 here, 1/3 here. Right? It ultimately reflects to this one. If you see here, unreserved 275. So next one, how much the women could be? Around 137. If you see the SC, how many? 84. If you divide it, how many? 28 for women. So next one, there is a demand of ST. How much it is? Something around 18, I think so. 18 or 14. It is 16. Got it? So these things are not that much important. Why I am telling this? Because in the negative side of this view, so what the other, where is this? What are the other governments is demanding is, if you see the bracket over here, there is a missing of what? There is a missing of BCs. So according to the constitution, so according to the previous amendments, there is already a reservation for SC and ST, but there is no reservation for BCs in the parliamentary elections or something. So what they are demanding now is, they need to fight in the E unreserved categories law, E women 137 law. Again they need to fight for this OBCs. It's like that one BC seats కోసం they need to fight. This is the main issue they are creating. If you see today's paper also, Rahul Gandhi is showing that we are going to support these BCs for this 1/3 reservation. It's a political drama only, but you don't consider other thing. But this is one of the issue. Remember when you are going to write the exam. So the need is, first need is what? This is the population strength of the women. So just representation of 15%. This is the one need. So what is the second need? So decision making position in the political parties have negligible presence of women. This is the another creates need of it. Women's reservation together with gender budgeting can be very crucial to India's future progress towards gender equality. So first one, ఇక్కడ strength తక్కువ ఉంది. Second one is what? Political, ఇక్కడ women అనేది negligible role ఉన్నాయి decision making లో. Third one is for what? Gender equality కోసం. Next one, bills amending the constitution to reserve. This is a history of it, brief history of it. ఇది ఎప్పుడు 1996 లో. If you see, there is a person called Devagowda. He has started this. So earlier this also during the time of 1970s, 1980s, UN has requested. Do you know UN? UN Women. There is a body called UN Women. UN లోనే చాలా బాడీస్ ఉంటాయి, దానిలో ఒక బాడీ UN Women. UN had requested India to create some gender equal laws during the time of Rajiv Gandhi. At the time it got started and it got subsumed. Again it got resurfaced in 1996. Again Atal Bihari Vajpayee has tried something around 1998. Again 2008. Again 2015 also. During the time of Modi government, who is this person? Manmohan Singh again raised this request in the Rajya Sabha because he is a Rajya Sabha member. So this got that effect. Then when recently this today itself Rajya Sabha has approved it. You have seen the today's news. So Rajya Sabha has approved this regarding this. If you see this bracket, only 2 members got opposed to this bill. that is this AMIM, this Muslim OIC government, right? Hyderabad ka OIC is there, right? They have opposed it. I don't know the reason. So coming to here, this is the origin, like the history of it. Standing Committee on the Personal Public Grievances Law Commission 2000 had noted that reservation of the women seats in local bodies has enabled them to make meaningful contribution. It ఏం చెప్పింది అంటే, if you see the Panchayat Raj, do you know idea? Panchayat Raj, do you have an idea? Panchayat Raj institutions. Panchayat Raj in municipalities, there is a reservation of 1/3 to the women. So what it is going say is, local bodies ki unnai 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ ఉన్నాయి, బట్ మెయిన్ బాడీస్ లైక్ పార్లమెంటరీ ఈ బాడీస్కి 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ లేదు. సో అక్కడ ఉంది, సో దే హ్యావ్ పర్ఫార్మ్డ్ బెటర్. సో అందుకని యూనిటెడ్ దిస్ 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ ఇన్ దిస్ సెంటర్ డొమైన్. సెంటర్ అంటే ఈ మెయిన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్లో ఉండాలని, పార్లమెంట్ స్టేట్ లెజిస్లేచర్లో ఉండాలని చెప్పేసి దే హ్యావ్ గివెన్ దిస్ నోటీస్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ వాట్? ఇంటర్ పార్లమెంటరీ యూనియన్. ఇట్స్ అన్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ బాడీ has noted that legislated quotas have been a decisive factor in the women's representation. There is a convention called CEDAW. What it means is Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, provided that discrimination against women must be eliminated in political and public life. Globally, India ranks 148 in the list of 193 countries based on the percentage of elected women representatives in their national parliaments. ఇది ఓవరాల్గా ఏం చెప్తుందంటే, సో టెల్ మీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్స్. 15% ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇవ్వాలి అన్నారు, డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ ఇవ్వాలి అన్నారు. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ జెండర్ ఈక్వాలిటీ కావాలన్నారు. సో ఇట్స్ ఎ లాంగ్ స్టాండింగ్ డిమాండ్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ వాట్? 1/3 పంచాయత్స్లో ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ కావాలన్నారు. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ వాట్? ఇంటర్నేషనల్లో కూడా దే ఆర్ సపోర్టింగ్ దిస్ 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఈ ఓవరాల్గా నీడ్ అదనమాట. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ బిల్? వాట్ ఆర్ ద మెయిన్ ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ రిజర్వేషన్ ఫర్ ఉమెన్? వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఇండివిజువల్గా చదవండి, ఎందుకంటే చెప్తున్నాను. ది బిల్ రిజర్వ్స్ యాజ్ నియర్లీ యాజ్ మేబీ 1/3 ఆఫ్ సీట్స్ ఫర్ ఉమెన్ ఇన్ లోక్సభ, స్టేట్ లెజిస్లేటివ్ అసెంబ్లీస్ అండ్ ద లెజిస్లేటివ్ అసెంబ్లీస్ ఆఫ్ నేషనల్ క్యాపిటల్ ఆఫ్ ఢిల్లీ. ఎక్కడెక్కడ? లోక్సభలో, స్టేట్ లెజిస్లేటివ్ అసెంబ్లీస్లో. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ Legislative Assembly of National Capital Territory of Delhi. This will also be applied to seats reserved for SCs, STs in Lok Sabha and state మనం చూసింది ఇందాక. This one. So commencement of the reservation ఎప్పటి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది? The reservation will be affected after the census. So present census అంటే తెలుసా? Do you have an idea? Census means our present census ఇప్పుడు ఈ పాటికి వచ్చేసేయాలి. డ్యూ టు దిస్ కోవిడ్ ఇట్ గాట్ డిలేడ్. సో ఇట్ గోయింగ్ టు కమ్ సంథింగ్ అరౌండ్ 2024, రైట్? సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దిస్ సెన్సెస్ దేర్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ ఆఫ్ డీలిమిటేషన్. దే హర్డ్ ద వర్డ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ డీలిమిటేషన్ అంటే తెలుసా? డీలిమిటేషన్ అంటే ఏం లేదు, ఈ పొలిటికల్ కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీస్ కోసం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ బౌండరీని డీలిమిట్ చేయటం అంటే ఒక పొలిటికల్ కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీ, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ హైదరాబాద్లో కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీ ఇంత నుంచి ఇంత ఏరియా బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద పాపులేషన్. ఆ పాపులేషన్ డేటా ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకుంటారు? సెన్సస్. ఈ సెన్సస్ అనేది ఒక లిస్ట్ పబ్లిష్ చేస్తుందా? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ ఏరియాలో ఇంతమంది జనం ఉన్నారు, సో దే విల్ గివ్ సమ్ డీటెయిల్స్ అబౌట్ దిస్. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దిస్ డేటా దే విల్ డీలిమిట్ వాట్? కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీస్. కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీస్ అంటే తెలుసు కదా, ఇప్పుడు అశోక్ నగర్ కాన్స్టిట్యుయెన్సీ. సో దాని సైజ్ ఎంత పాపులేషన్ బట్టి మారుతూ ఉంటుంది ప్రతి ఇయర్ జనరల్గా డీలిమిటేషన్ చేసిన ప్రతిసారి మారుతుంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకేనా? ప్లీజ్ లిప్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్, రైట్? ఐ గాట్ ఇట్. So census is there, right? It is a decennial. Every 10 years the census will happen. So based on this data you will delimit the constituencies. You know Ashok Nagar is a constituency, Kavadi is a constituency, right? So how you will divide this constituency? Based on the population of that area. If the population grows, for example they have a fixed limit, for example 100 square feet per this area. So that area is fixed for this 100 square feet only. It their calculation, we don't know their calculation, but based on the population only they will divide. For example, recently there is a trend of the southern states demanding the more constituencies. Why? Because we have performed this what you can say population reduction mechanisms. For example, Kerala and this Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, we have if you heard right, last class I have told regarding this TFR, total fertility rate. This total fertility rate is in southern state is less than something 2%. If you see the Bihar, these areas it is something around 3.554%. So it is more, right? If you see the Bihar areas, they will get more seats, right? If this census happens, ikkada takku unnai kabatti, so there may be chance of less seats in the southern domain, southern constituencies lo takku unde. So the demand is there in present. If you see today's paper also, yesterday's paper also, the southern states are demanding more seats. In the future, what you can say, this when this bill passes, comes into act after so this delimitation exercise is something around 2026. Next delimitation exercise. After the census, you need to do the what? Delimitation exercise, right? So again the elections comes around 2029. So this bill applies at where? When? 2029. Next elections ki kaadu, 2029 kosa. So ivanni sequence ka jariginappude there is an application of this women reservation. This will become act. So what is the commencement? The reservation will be affected after the census conducted after the commencement of this bill has been published. Based on the census, delimitation will be undertaken to reserve communities for the women. The reservation will be provided to a period of how much? How much? Earlier they have given a target of until 15 years. Later it can be extended based on this Constitutional Amendment Act. Next one is what? Rotation of seats. Seats reserved for women will be rotated after each delimitation, which we have already talked. Delimitation census martundante population increase, decrease, there will be an increase or decrease in population. Based on this population, delimitation will happen. Obviously, this delimitation will happen, then there is a rotation of seats. Got it? There is a sequence. There is a cycle you need to follow. So, what are the points you noted from here? What are the key features? Just tell me in a wrap, in a 1 second, like 1 minute. So, who are the participating agencies? Parliament, like Lok Sabha, State Legislature, New Delhi, right? SC and ST also part of it, right? BCs are part? No, right? Next one is what? After census, after delimitation. What is the time frame? 15 years. After the, it's up to 15 years, then it can be extended. So, rotation of the seats, when this rotation of seats will happen? After the delimitation. These are the main 3 features of this bill. So, next. So, issues in the bill, very important. So, the issues, same thing which I have already talked about, delimitation of this constituencies. So, if you see this delimitation, to do this delimitation, there is a body called Delimitation Commission, right? This Delimitation Commission has a members of CJA and Election Commission of India. If you see the recent amendments, recent changes in this Election Commission of India, these election commissioners and these chief election commissioners, their tenure and salary is determined by the central government. అర్థమైందని చెప్పింది? Got it what I have told? ఈ delimitation చేయడానికి there is a delimitation commission. In this delimitation commission, there are some people. One is CJA and the other one is what? ECI and one other extra person, I forgot. But if you see this ECI is plaguing with an issue of centralization. So ultimately what it is going to say is this delimitation can be done in a biased form of which the government is there in. For example, which I have already talked. For example, Bihar and UP, if you see the largest share, UP is the hold of whom? BJP or Congress? Ultimately, they'll get more seats, right? So delimitation. So Election Commission of India is there. Election Commission of India, that Chief Election Commissioner, Election Commissioner, their tenure and salary determined by whom? Central government. Obviously, there is a hold of central government. Obviously, there is a change of this activities over here. This is the first issue. Next issue is what? After next census. So they don't know exactly. Again, I have already talked about this one. Southern states are demanding more seats. There is an issue of federal imbalance over here. Next one, no mention of reservation to this OBC. Next one, rotation of the seats. So if you see this is the data from the Election Commission of India, what it has talked. According to the Ministry of Panchayat Raj, almost 85% are what? First timers. So due to this rotation of seats, there will be a policy paralysis. అంటే అర్థం తెలుసా, ప్రతి 5 yearsకి ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ గుడ్, ఇఫ్ దట్ పర్సన్ ఈస్ గుడ్, దే ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ ఫైన్, సడన్గా అతను బాగుండి ఇఫ్ దే చేంజ్ అబ్రప్ట్లీ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ పర్సన్. For example, X person is leading a constituency, he has a good performance over that area, he is doing a good job, each and everything is fine. Abruptly, if there is a change due to this rotation of seats, there is a change to another person. Got it what I am saying? అర్థం కావట్లేదా? Are you able to understand? So did you heard, are you able to understand this data? According to the Ministry of Panchayat Raj, almost 85% are the first timers at where? These local bodies. Local bodies, in local bodies there is 1/3 of reservation, right? 1/3 of reservation is there. These 1/3 of reservation, these 85% are first timers. Every time the election happens, 85% are first timers. This thing may also reflect here because it is based on that policy only, right? 1/3 itself, right? So to keep on changing, for example, newcomers, if you see some constituencies, one person still 15 years, 20 years, because they have a good hold, they'll do good policies over there. If you suddenly create such kind of rotation of the seats, it again, there is a halt in these policies, right? Which they are doing at the, for example, they will plan for a long term, right? So what this X person, 2023, they are going to start a road. So it may take 3 years. 2 years he got out of this, what you can say, vote, he lost the election, or he may changed because of this rotation. 1 year is left for this completion. So who will follow this completion? Will the next person will follow, or he may reject or right? There may be a policy paralysis, right? Some initiative got started by some person, it should be continuous, right? But it will get failed because of this rotation of seats. Yeah, Andhra Pradesh capital, you can see example of this Andhra Pradesh capital. It is not something women related, but there is a change in the government, right? So they have taken this Amaravati as a capital, now Vizag as a capital. Again, if the TDP government comes, again Amaravati as a capital. Just keep on shifting capitals. It's very good for a country. So next point is, will it really empower the women? Will it really empower the women? So could you, like we'll discuss about in the brief in the next slide. Other countries does not have exclusively reservation to the women. Only some countries have exclusive reservation, but they have a different policy. Different policy. That is what? Reservation in political parties. So not in the form of these seats. They have reservation in the political parties. For example, in the political parties, they have some seats, they are reserved for the women. It's an alternative mechanism. What I am going to say is alternative mechanism. These are the issues in this bill. So overall bill, I am talking about the bill. So next, from the perspective of women. From the perspective of women. So what are these pros and cons? It leads to women empowerment. Article 15. You know Article 15 of the Indian Constitution, which creates an opportunities to the women. Got it? So next one, deviation from patriarchal mindset. What does this means? What it means? Menne palinchali. Men should rule. Men dominance, whatever it may be, men related, men phobia, that will be there, right? So it is a kind of feminization. What are you going to say in another word? Next one, sensibleness in policy making. You know that women are good, they have a good tinge of this sensibleness. So it will enhance the policy making. Next one, more discussions. Don't run like that. It's a very general statement. Okay. Yeah, there may be, yeah, they'll take, surely they will take, they'll develop. So next, creates role modeling, obviously, right? So there are less women role models. For example, if you want to tell one example, only one chief minister is there in whole India of women. Who is her, what's her name? Mamata Banerjee. Only one person is a woman chief minister. So if a woman want to be an aspiring of chief minister or something, there is only one example you can show. So it may create opportunity to become woman chief minister. Oh, one chief minister got died, you know, Jayalalitha, she is Amma of Tamil Nadu. Okay. At present we are talking about. So do you know Naveen Patnaik? You are from Odisha itself, right? He is something leading from 3 terms or 4 terms. I think nearly 4 or 5 terms he is there. So creates role model. Next one, increase the voice of women to address some issues like #MeToo. Do you know this one? #MeToo campaign. Any idea? It's based on sexual violence on the women. #MeToo campaign. So they can raise those voice because women know more about these things. So next one, in line with the local bodies, which I have already talked, right? 1/3 reservation is there. So you also need to place 1/3 reservation to them. So next one, cons towards this, may hamper the Article 14 right to equality. That's what I'm saying. I'm just given an example. #MeToo, it's like a campaign which supports what? Sexual violence on the harassment on the women. It's in one dimension. So అలాంటి డైమెన్షన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు men ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడలేరు. Men can't speak much when such kind of women related, but they won't accept it, right? First of all, we are not doing it. So there is a case on the CJA also. So ex-CJA, not case, there is an allegation on the ex-CJA also of this #MeToo. If the women into the place of this parliament, they can create more discussion of such kind of things. That's what the intention is. So not exclusive #MeToo regarding this women's reservation. It's an example of this, such kind of events they can talk. So they may hamper the Article 14 right to equality. The question is how? In which seats? General seats. So in general seats, if they want to perform well, for example, if you want to show your real strength by giving reservation, there is a chance you can be into that position. Without the reservation, you need to fight, right? You are creating opportunity, right? Without that opportunity, you need to show yourself. The women should compete to inner strength. So Renuka something is a parliamentarian. She has given that. She has told that we need to fight. We will fight. We will win. So why we need such kind of reservations? She has given that statement. So one example is that one. So next one, women from affluent status, means elite class. Obviously they have money and power with them, right? This politics is mostly related to this money and power only, right? If you have money, there is a huge chance of winning, right? So women who have from the affluent class, there may be a chance of winning that seats, right? Got it? Affluent means elite, rich class, rich people. They have a chance of winning this one. So next one, proxy roles. You know this one? Pati Sarpanch, which is a reality in the local bodies. Next one, classical conditioning. Very, very important. What it means? Nothing much here. Women are not fit for it. Women are not supportive to it. Women can do it. This is a classical condition which అది ఉండిపోయింది. ఎలా అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ టెల్ యూ సంథింగ్, there is a time limit for women, right? How? I'll tell you. If you want to, for example, one MP, 2 MP, 3 MP, like from 6 MPs, if they want to discuss something regarding a policy, right, they may take lot number of time. They can work in the night times also. But women, it cannot possible from her side, right? But she has what? Familial responsibility. Some responsibilities are there. Ultimately, she is a woman. She need to take care of her kids or something, right? This is the classical conditioning. Yeah, social something. That's called classical conditioning, the word. So women ila derive chey ilane undali anna mindset untadi kada. So that applies here. Obviously it will take, so if she want to dare that step also, after 12 she can work. ఎంతమంది, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 1/3 ఉంటే ఆల్ 1/3 కెన్ వర్క్ బియాండ్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ 12. మేబీ 10 people may work out of this 137. 10 people may work. Rest they have a mindset, they need to go home, we need to look after, they have that mindset, right? So this may reduce the effect of the policies. Next one, loss of long term planning, which I have already told, right, due to this rotation of seats. Next one, less stringent policies, which you already asked me. Which one? Terrorist vachinappudu, yeah, there may be a chance. Next one, creates more division among communities. So which we are talking about, this SC, ST, OBCs. There is no reservation for this OBCs, right? Again there is a conflict over there. So what could be the way forward? ఇప్పుడు ఈ 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ కాకుండా, అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్, వాట్ వీ కెన్ డూ, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ టు రీచ్ దట్ 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్, వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు డూ అండ్ దిస్ స్పాన్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ 2029, right? In this span of time, what we need to do, what they have told is, first you need to address the plaguing issues. So when is the arrival of this women's reservation? 2029, right? Some 6 years is there, right, from now. In these 6 years, first of all you need to focus on these dimensions. Criminalization of politics, these criminals should be wiped away from the next elections. But it will happen. Will it happen? Will it happen? Okay, fine. Bring internal democracy in where? Political parties. Next one, reduce the nexus between corporates. Next one, reduce what? Black money. What they are going to say is, first address these issues, then women will come, then they will play a level playing field. Until and unless these are there, నువ్వు ఎన్ని ఉమెన్స్ని తీసుకొని చేంజ్ చేసినా సరే, బట్ దట్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ స్టిల్ విల్ బి లైక్ దట్. ఫస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు అడ్రస్ దీస్ ఇష్యూస్ ఇన్ ది 6 years. వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ సజెషన్ ఈస్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్, ట్రై అవుట్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెథడ్స్ ఇన్ సమ్ పైలట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లాగా ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెథడ్స్ చేయండి. వాట్ ఆర్ దోస్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెథడ్స్ ఈస్, రిజర్వేషన్ విత్ ఇన్ ద పొలిటికల్ parties. Next one is dual member constituencies. Initially it is there. Do you know what is this dual member constituencies? In a single constituency there will be a division. One division will be looked up by women and one by this other person, or else there is a constituency 1-1, like two people will deal with a single constituency. That is called dual member constituencies. Earlier it was practiced in India. Got it? So you can try it, huh? No, during this elections time, during this time only it was practiced there in India. Later it got changed. So what they are giving these suggestions. So next one is what? Create awareness sessions. There is an youth, the heard of youth parliament? There is a theme of youth parliament. For example, in some schools there is a participation of some women, these girls and boys, creating awareness regarding this parliament. They are talking about all those things. So in the fun, obviously from the girl child on the school stage only, you need to get that intuition to go into the politics, right? So into condition at this point of state, these are the way forward. These are the way forward you need to give about talking this article. So what are the, so I'll wrap it out in 1 to 2 minutes, not this article. So ఒక 1.5 minute లో ఏం చెప్పి మాట్లాడండి ఒకసారి. First one, what are the key features of the bill? What are the key features of the bill? 1/3 reservation, rotation of seats, 15 years, Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies and New Delhi. Next one, delimitation, after delimitation the census. Got it? These are the key features. What are the issues? No OBC, right? Next one, patriarchal mindset, right? Next one, proxy. Next, yeah, more division. Next one, it is against the equality. Yeah, affluent class, money and muscle power. So these are the cons. What are the pros? Sensible policies. Next one, more discussions. Fast. Role modeling, deviation from the patriarchal mindset, creates role modeling, increase the women, address some of the issues in line with the local bodies. So coming to here, the main practice question, women's reservation is a landmark step in the history of India's political realm. In this backdrop, discuss what are the key features of the bill and what are the issues underlying it, and also suggest some alternatives to this. Will you able to answer this question? So these are the alternatives. You can mention this: reservation of political parties and dual membership. You can create this one, right? Are you able to write this answer? Women's reservation is fine. Which of the following statements are true? Recent women's reservation bill includes 1/3 of the reservation to upper house and state legislative councils also. Legislative assemblies and which house? Lower house. It is not upper house. Which house? Lok Sabha. So first option is right or wrong? There is also a reservation to the backward classes also. Present women members in the Lok Sabha is less than 10%. How much? 15%. So what is the answer? None. అర్థమవుతుందా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఎలా ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తారనేది? సో నెక్స్ట్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ prior to this, this is 2023 mains GS1 question. What is the question? What was the difference between Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore in approach towards education and nationalism? So these type of questions will ask. So they'll see the beauty of this question. They have taken two personalities. In thus two personalities, they are comparing with the two terms. One is what? Education and nationalism. Did you understand? Like ఎంత బ్యూటీ ఉంది ఈ క్వశ్చన్లో. ఒక టూ పర్సనాలిటీస్ తీసుకొని దానిలో ఒక ఇండివిజువల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ నుంచి దే ఆర్ కంపేరింగ్ విత్ దెమ్. యూ నీడ్ టు ఆన్సర్ దెమ్. సో ఎంత డెప్త్ ఆలోచించాలో ఆలోచించండి. బట్ దీస్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఈజీ వెన్ యూ ఆర్ అట్లీస్ట్ మీకు ఆ పర్సనాలిటీ గురించి యూ హ్యావ్ సమ్ ఐడియా, రైట్? So I'll, as fast as the thing, I'll try to. So do you know this one, Shanti Niketan? Any idea? Shanti Niketan is a school which was started by this Rabindranath Tagore, which is there in the West Bengal. Got it? So Shanti Niketan got transformed into an Vishwa Bharati University. It is there in there itself. So it got inscribed at where? UNESCO World Heritage. Right? UNESCO, there is a body called UNESCO. It's an international body which places some sites which are important for the cultural value and some natural value, some mixed values. So which has huge importance in the course of history. They'll place them in their list and they'll help to protect them. So this is the list. So at present India has 42 sites in this UNESCO World Heritage. This one is the 41st one. 42nd one is Hyosala architecture. Yeah, it's a recent one. So this is also recent one, 40, 41, 42. So at present, how many sites are there? 42 sites are this UNESCO. So again, the Shanti Niketan is relating to what? Education, right? So it was there in the, see how the question has framed here. Ela frame chesar ardham avutunda 2023 question. It was there in the tentative list. Oka list promote chesi. India has given some list to this UNESCO World Heritage list. So in that same way, I think we also given a question on Mahatma Gandhi new education policy. I think so. Last week or previous that week we have given a question on the Mahatma Gandhi's education and new educational policy. I think so. We'll see in the next class about that thing. So coming to this Shanti Niketan, right? Its main aim is what? Connect with nature. Just remember the point, connect with nature. Everything should be connected to the nature. So you need to learn from the nature. For example, cycles are there, right? What you can say, the cycles, Sharad Rutuvu, this Rutuvulu will there, right? According to that seasons, according to that change in the cycle, you also need to change. So you also have that capability to understand. So akkada marutundi ante there should be a change of your thought. He is mostly towards the concept of universalism. Universalism means you are not going to restrict it to this classroom rote learning. It should be connect with the nature. You need to work. For example, lot of personalities have came out from this Shanti Niketan University who are excelled because it enhances the creativity. For regular classrooms there is a curriculum untadi, but idi ikkada ala undadu anamata. There is a practice of different kinds. For example, arts will be there. For example, paintings will be there. For example, there is an events, Holi. They will celebrate Holi as an event in the Shanti Niketan to enhance such kind of cultural infusion into it. So where I start? 1901, Rabindranath Tagore established an experimental school at Shanti Niketan to 5 students including equal members. He originally named it as what? Brahmacharya Ashram. Remember this point. Blending the best of what? Western and traditional. The curriculum revolved organically around nature with the classes being held in the open air. Tagore's belief that the close connect between man and nature should be the founding principles of the education. Nature walks and excursion, nothing much. Emphasis was also given to the vocational education. So first point is what? Remember the 3 points I'll tell you. First one is what? Connect with the nature. Second point is what? Vocational educations are there. Third point is what? Blending of Western and traditional. So these 3 points are very important for you. So next one, Tagore converted a little school university. Tagore was one of the first supporters and bring together different forms of arts. This is the 4th one. So next one, it gives complete artistic freedom to its students in line with Tagore's immortal words, where the head is held high and knowledge is free. So 4 points from this Tagore's perspective. Next one, Gandhi's towards education. So Gandhi's education is mostly focused on you need to work. నువ్వు పుట్టావు అంటే you need to work. Obviously, he has promoted a new kind of pedagogy which is based on that is called what? Nai Talim. Nai Talim means new education in his perspective. What are the important things in this which we got adopted into our Indian constitution also and this new educational policy? First one is what? Free and compulsory education for all boys and girls up to 14 years. It is there in our Indian constitution. Article 21A. Right? Education through craft and productive work. You know Gandhi supported this Khadi, right? You need to work Khadi Tippali, then only you will get that value to your life. You need to work at any cost. Self-supporting scheme with state universities providing for infrastructure like school buildings, nothing much. Educating through mother tongue. So this mother tongue was provision is taken into present new education policy 2020. As the medium of instruction, introducing to rich child culture and instilling him the right ethical moral values. Exposition of the cult of non-violence, making the students understand the ideas of citizenship to understand their rights, duties and obligations as mentioned of the civilized. So it is based on ancient connection. So next one, introducing the idea of cooperative community with social services as the dominating motto. Social service. So దీనంతా క్లబ్ చేస్తే I tell you something. He is more into spiritual. He is more into national. National ante he didn't talk about the universal principles, right? Universal, for example, what Tagore has talked, it's a blend of Western plus traditional learning. But he didn't talk. He is mainly focused on Indian education itself, like Vedic education, all those things. So he is against to this spiritualism. Who? Rabindranath Tagore. Got it? So these are the points, just remember, but you need to work. Same point is there, right? There also. You need to work. Got it? So one point, next one, mother tongue should be there. It's his point. So these are the exclusive points belonging to this Mahatma Gandhi's Nai Talim. So those are the exclusive points belonging to this Rabindranath Tagore. You need to at least three of these, at least three of that, you need to place them in your answer, which is GS mains question, which I have shown you, right? So this is the Nai Talim. Just go home, just see here. Education through productive work. Mother education, the mother tongue, nurture multiple skills in children based on their own. It is also supporting to this Tagore's policy, right? Shantiniketan. Next one, learning going beyond textbook. It is also there. Next one, participation of local community. Next one, training of 3H, very very important. Head, heart and hand. It is connecting to this productive work. Obviously, you have that mix of this head, heart and hand. Ante manasu, manasvasha shakti, something we'll talk in Telugu, right? So you have your head is, and my mind, sorry, if your mind will work properly, then only your work is efficient, right? The concept is in that way. Got it? So this is a quote which he has given. The end of all education should surely be what? Service. Whatever the education is there, it is for what? For service. And if a student gets an opportunity of rendering the service, even he is studying, he should consider it as a rare opportunity and treat it not really as a suspension of his education, but rather than a compliment. So you need to be service oriented. What's his view is. So coming to this, I have talked regarding this education aspect. Just go home and frame regarding this nationalism. So there is a prelims practice question. Notable works of the Rabindranath Tagore. Remember, Young India, sorry, it is Young India. It's a work of Mahatma Gandhi. Rest all are works of Rabindranath Tagore. So the answer is what? 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. So just see here, UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this is there in the news. there is a conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia. It's a long standing issue. After the Soviet Union got disintegrated, do you know Soviet Union? USSR. So USSR, it got disintegrated. So there is a region called, this region is called what? Nagorno Karabakh region, which is there in the Azerbaijan, but it was dominated by this Armenian population. Got it? This info is enough for you. For this exam, this info is enough. What you need to know is from the point of map. From the point of map, what you need to know is what are the bordering countries of Azerbaijan, right? What are the bordering countries of Armenia, right? So this region, the region very important for your prelims is Georgia plus Azerbaijan plus Armenia. These three conglomerated region is called as what? Caucasus. What? Caucasus region antaru. This region, because there is lying of a mountains called Caucasus mountains. This region is called what? Caucasus region. I will tell you what is the importance of it. So this is the Caucasus region. Caucasus region spans over three main countries. What are these countries? Armenia, Azerbaijan and Georgia, and is bordered. The word is what? Bordered. See the difference here. Caucasus region. Bordered by whom? Russia, Turkey and Iran. The Caucasus again mountains. It is what? Region. It is what? Mountains. There is a difference. Region ki mountains ki difference undi. Okay na? So what is the mountains? Our mountains range intersection of Asia and Europe, stretching between which sea? This is the Caspian Sea. This is the Black Sea. They are surrounded by the Caucasus region and the home to the Mount Elbrus. What is the mount name? The Mount Elbrus is where? In Russia. From this we got so many map based questions. So this is the 2022 prelims question, very important. So these kind of questions will come on the paper. The term Levant, right, often heard in the news, roughly corresponds to which of the following regions? Regions along the eastern Mediterranean shores, region along the North African shore stretching from Egypt to Morocco, region along the Persian Gulf and Horn of Africa, the entire coastal areas of Mediterranean Sea. The answer is A. Regions along the eastern Mediterranean, that includes what? This Syria, this Jordan, this Israel. ఈ regions ఏం regions అంటారు? Levant అంటారు. It was there in the news. Same ఇలానే questions అడగచ్చు. ఎలా అడగచ్చు అంటే the term Caucasus, often heard in the news, corresponds to which of the following region? It's a region lies in North America between Canada and USA. It is a region where Ukraine-Russia conflict zone. It's a region between Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Recently, China acquired a territory in the South China Sea. What is the answer? C itself, right? So everything, the options which I have chosen is from the current affairs. అవి కూడా కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్లోనే ఉన్నాయి. ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా అలానే అడుగుతారు, ఎందుకంటే విచ్ వాస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్, విచ్ టు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ యూ. Exactly. So obviously Canada, it's in their news, right? You will think it is correct, right? So next one, Russia, Ukraine is there. It is there in the news. You will think it is correct, right? Next one, South China Sea. Recently it was there in the news. You will think it, right? So the answer is what? A region between Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. So that's the reason why these geography related are mostly IR concepts. So you need to practice in this dimension. So next one, very important, moonquakes. Any idea? Nothing much. Moon doesn't have atmosphere. Remember this point. Moon doesn't have any atmosphere. So if any small change, it will create a quake. Don't think quake means something around 8 magnitude, 9 magnitude, just a change. There will be, for example, if you put huge thing, it will create a huge repercussion on the moon surface. So what are the factors for these moon quakes? Are there is a huge temperature difference. For example, you have a 200 degrees hot some ball or something. If you put that ball in minus 200 degrees water, it may create some change, right? Same thing is happening with this moon. Moon has two different temperatures. Extreme temperature, the temperature difference is 250 degrees Celsius. Difference means minus to plus. Got it? This is one point. Second point is what? Due to the striking of meteors, external things will. So next one, due to the lack of atmosphere on the moon, right? So due to the extreme temperatures difference, that is nearly change in 250 degrees Celsius. So what's the question is, which of the following are the possible reasons? The word is what? Possible reasons for the moon quakes due to the extreme temperature differences, that is nearly 250 degrees Celsius. Is it correct or wrong? Huh? Yes. Due to the striking of meteors, due to the lack of atmosphere on the moon. So what is the answer? Three options. So do you have an idea this one? I'll just 2 minutes I'll tell regarding this thing. There is an article which was saying cats are the one of the reason for decreasing the birds population. In the US, the survey got conducted. What it has proven is cats are the one reason there is a decrease of this birds population. Recently, there is a bird census in India has conducted. In this bird census, there is a speculation, there is a talking of this. These cats are the responsible for this decrease in the which population? Birds population, because cats has ability to climb up the trees, comparing with what? Dogs or something. Dogs won't climb, right? Cats has ability to eat those things, right, which was there in the nest, which is one reason. Another reason is cat has in the saliva, it has a bacteria. If that bacteria got touched with these birds, the birds will die. These are two factors which they have told. So nothing much here. That is the one of the reason. So just go home and see this. There is a scheme called what? PM Vishwakarma scheme. It is related to what? Artisans, art crafts, arts and artisans. It's a sector or central sponsored? Central sector. It means you mostly funded by whom? Center itself, right? So what is the objectives? Nothing much. Just go here to nurture the Guru Sishya Parampara. So covering this comprehensive. So we'll directly jump into the prelims question. Which of the following statements are true regarding the PM Vishwakarma Yojana? It is a central sector scheme which will be implemented by the Ministry of Cooperation. Actually, it is a Ministry of MS, not Ministry of Cooperation. It's a central sector, central sponsored, central sector itself. It has an interest subvention facility. Do you know interest subvention means? If you pay on time, they will reduce your, for example, 8% is there, right? Your interest. If you pay in time, they will reduce it to 6%. This component is there in this scheme. Next one, it offers collateral free entrepreneurship developmental loans. It is there in the scheme. It will give what? Collateral free. Do you know what collateral means? Collateral ante telsa? Collateral ante something like takattu. If you want to get something from the bank, you need to submit some documents, right? That is called the collateral. Collateral free means no need of submitting any kinds of documents to the bank. That is called collateral free. This component is there in this scheme. It will boost the spirit of India's flagship Make in India program. It is correct or wrong? So this is a very general statement. Ilanti general statements vastayi. So these are exclusive to this scheme. This is a very general statement. It will boost the spirit of India's flagship Make in India. So, ఈ arts పెరగటం వల్ల మేక్ ఇన్ ఇండియా పెరుగుతుందా పెరగదా? సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ రైట్ ఆప్షన్. సో ద ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ రైట్? నో, అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఫస్ట్ వన్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ విచ్ మినిస్ట్రీ? Ministry of MSME. So that's it. Just go home and just see this scheme, what it is talking about. Fine. End of the class. Chances are heavy. It's not exclusive. Chances are heavy. See, what I'm going to say is, apart from The Hindu, there is a trend of Indian Express. There is a trend of PIB. There is a trend of what you can say down to earth. These all things are there. When I'm covering articles, I'll pick each and I'll pick the source over here. For example, if you see, if I want to develop, for example, Nagorno Karabakh region is there, which is there in the news, but they didn't talk about the Caucasus. Got it? What I'm saying? Nagorno Karabakh region is there, but they didn't talk about the Caucasus. But I went that much deep. What I'm going to say is, then you can find in some different articles. So it is just a base to it, base to you. Based on that base, you need to connect with the different things. So why the Caucasus region is important to India? So there is a passage of INSTC corridor, International North-South Transport Corridor, which this Azerbaijan has a huge amount of this oil and natural gas deposits. That is the reason why India is interested towards this region. So this pipeline which is passes, this INSTC pipeline will pass through this bordering of this, which is Nagorno Karabakh region. So that is the reason why it is important for India. So if you see the last 2023 mains question also, they have given a question on the western region diaspora. They are specifically talking which region? Western region diaspora. Or the previous year they have a question on the Middle East. In the next year there may be chance of asking in this Caucasus region, how this Caucasus region is helpful for the India relations. Got it? So they will give a small hint like the Nagorno Karabakh, but you need to, now I also don't know. I know about this Caucasus region, but I don't know where to connect, what to connect. When I am reading all those things like the different articles, I came to know this Caucasus region is also one of the important factor we need to look out from the Indian dimension. So our aspirations are there. If you see the recent last week's classes, last week class, this one is what? India Middle East Economic Corridor. India Middle East Economic Corridor. So it's based on this only, right? Oil and natural gas thing only. So it's an important Caucasus region. So there may be a chance for something. So if you see, just give me 1 minute. So who are attending my Indian Express? See, that's what I'm saying. Just I have picked a news article from the Hindu. నేను చెప్తుంది కూడా అదే, సేమ్ ఆర్టికల్స్ అక్కడ ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి, బట్ దేర్ విల్ బి నేమ్ చేంజ్ ఉంటుంది అంతే. బట్ నేను ఆర్టికల్ తీసుకొని ఆర్టికల్లో నేను ఉండను, బట్ ఐ విల్ కవర్ డిఫరెంట్ డైమెన్షన్స్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు సేస్. ఇండియన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్లో కూడా తీసుకుంటాను, దర్ ఈస్ నో ఇష్యూ. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక క్లాస్లో తీసుకుంటే ఐ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ వన్ ఆర్టికల్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఇండియన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, నాట్ దిస్ క్లాస్. 2-3 క్లాసెస్ ముందు తీసుకుని ఒక ఆర్టికల్ తీసుకుని ఇండియన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్లో నుంచే తీసుకున్నాను అది ఆ టాపిక్ అనేది, because I found that is important in that one. I'll see both of the things. So ikkada vishayam entante, I'll tell you to 9:50, right? Normal classes, general classes, right? History, economy, they generally, how much time will it take for you? 3 hours or 4 hours? How much time for a single class? 3 hours or 2 hours? 2 hours, right? So for a static subject like that thing, you are investing 2 hours. This is a very dynamic subject. If I want to talk, I can talk 6 to 7 hours also. The importance is there on this. If you see this year paper also, you can see very unconventional questions are asking. Very unconventional. You cannot find them in the books. those comes through these kind of explanation discussions only. If you see the last GS1, GS2, I think so, there is a question how this mobile phones has changed. Yeah, cuddling, whatever it may be. So will you find those in the books? Those comes through these news articles only. When you keep on going through these news articles, you will able to get. I've already told you, I don't know who are attending my class. I've already told you on that day itself when I'm talking about this Chandrayaan 3. You have attended my class? I've already told in the class. If they want to ask a question, they'll ask Chandrayaan 3 comparing with the other country. At that time in the class also I have told you I have compared with Chandrayaan 3 with Luna 25. Do you have an idea? Same question was there on this GS3 mains. If you see the GS3 mains question also, just open and go see. Same exactly like India has done in this Chandrayaan 3. Who are the other countries has done this? I have comparison within, but it is only the India has achieved this landing on the South Pole. See, are you able to understand? I am able to somehow understand the dynamics of this UPSC. Somehow. At the time in the class also నేను అదే చెప్పాను. క్వశ్చన్ ఇన్ని డిఫరెంట్ డైమెన్షన్స్లో ఉన్నా సరే ఈ కంపారిజన్ బేస్డ్ ఇలా అడిగే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయని చెప్పాను. ద వర్డ్ సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్ వాజ్ దేర్. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు సే ఈస్ when I'm picking these articles also, I'll carefully pick the articles. అంటే ఏవైతే ఎక్కువ ఛాన్సెస్ అనిపిస్తాయో I'll pick the articles. So that's what I'm saying. If you give me 6 hours also, I'm ready to take. See, 2 hours restrict చేయలేము. So ఇప్పుడు నేను చాలా కంటెంట్ I have missed. What I have prepared now, I need to cut short it right ultimately. For example, if Nagorno karabakh region will take something in half an hour for me to discuss. I just wrap 10 minutes to wrap చేసేసాను. But it will take something 45 minutes also. You need to talk, there is a history is there. You need to talk each and every dimension from the Indian perspective, each and everything, right? So that's it.